Hey, what's doing YouTube, and welcome to episode number 4 of my 2021 bodybuilding prep for the Ifbb Pro Leagues, and we're now in January, so at 7 weeks out from this video here. So coming into the business end of the competition, trying to really get lean and bring out all the details now. So going off the video from last week onto this week, I can definitely see some more improvements, definitely see some more things coming through. In this video I actually weighed 89.3 kilos, so the weight is dropping a little bit, which is a good indication that I'm getting closer and closer to my stage weight. But after the weekend I'll probably be back up to 92 after carving up, because I'm allowing myself 2 days to sort of carve up this weekend, because I am still a long way out and well ahead in my prep. So I've decided that I'm going to try and carve up 2 days on the weekend, see what happens. That should give me more energy for my sessions on Sunday, which is my leg day, which is an area that I think needs to be brought up. But looking at this, looking pretty good, not looking nice and full. So I just trained shoulders before this video, and it's all starting to come together now. The only thing is still the lower back and just the top of the thighs, and the glutes are still a little bit untidy in the tie. And I've got the classic physique, the official classic physique posing trunks on now that I've got from the Ifbb Pro League. So they're a bit different to the old bodybuilding trunks. The old bodybuilding trunks were more revealing for the glutes, so this sort of covers them a little bit, but you still want to get those glutes nice and hard to make sure that you're in good condition. So they're definitely a lot more comfortable than the bodybuilding posing trunks, even though I will still be doing bodybuilding if I get the opportunity, the bodybuilding classes, if I get the opportunity when I compete this year. So the goal is still Adelaide on the 20th of February, if the borders are still going to be open. So it's still a little bit up in the air, which is a little bit frustrating, but just going to have to deal with it and sort of book towards right towards the end, and just hope that you don't lose your money, I guess. But Adelaide's somewhere I definitely want to see. I've never been there before, and being a cricketer growing up, you know, having dreams of playing for Australia, I'd really like to see the Adelaide Oval, and I think the Adelaide lifestyle would suit me as well, and maybe even consider moving there one day. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to that if that happens. But the main focus is still the New South Wales show, and then the Brisbane show a week later, provided everything goes ahead. I haven't really thought about, you know, if they do cancel the shows, but I guess if they do and they sort of move the dates and it's still not sure, I'll probably shut the prep down and go back to off season and continue to work on weak areas and bring my strength up. I don't see the point of really trying to sort of cruise through a diet for a month, I guess, and then sort of ramp it up again. I consider that just a waste of time, especially if you don't know that the comps are going to go ahead anyway. So as you can see, you're looking pretty good, pretty close to condition for the stage. So that's why I've allowed the 2 days to carve up, to see if I can get the energy levels back up and have some really good sessions. The workouts have still been good, but I have started to really feel it in the gym, even though I've still been able to push through and basically have a better workout than the previous week. I haven't really dropped off in the training aspect yet, but that comes a lot from experience and just knowing that those are the times that you have to push the hardest. So this is I've got to go through a glute and ham workout that I recently did at World Gym Northern Beaches. World Gym Northern Beaches is probably one of my favourite gyms to train at. Probably the best gym in Sydney for both powerlifting and bodybuilding. They've got a heap of equipment, and was pretty keen to try it all out. So I've never used this Atlantis lying leg curl before. This is a exercise that I'm not great at, so you can see that I'm really trying to keep the form tight. I'm trying to keep my core tight and my lats down, trying to flex my glutes, and I'm not getting a full stretch, as I find that I lose a little bit of connection if I just let the weight come all the way down to a full stretch. So I'm just where the muscle is still engaged, and then obviously trying to bring it back to the shortened range in as much control as possible. And as you can see now, I'm just really starting to fatigue. So it's a slow rep tempo, but it's all hamstrings. Normally I do the seated leg curl next, but I didn't really like the seated leg curl at the gym. I just didn't feel it was doing too much, so I jumped onto the deadlifts. This is warming up, so I normally warm up with 60 kilos and then go 100 kilos and 120 kilos. So go up 20 kilos each set, keep the reps about 5 or 6. So this is kind of my last warm-up set with 180 kilos. I just do 5 reps, and everything was feeling pretty good this day, and was looking to get 2 sets of 5 reps with 200 kilos. So this was the first attempt with 200 kilos. This is the weight that I was getting 2 reps with at the start of my prep, so now up to 5 reps. I really had to work hard for the 5th rep. It's still not coming easy. I can get 4 pretty comfortably. It's just the 5th one I'm really struggling. Mostly it was the grip on this set, but I can get the weight up. To be honest, I think I'm a fair way off 6 reps though. But the next set I did with the wraps, just to make sure. So I did get 5 reps again, but I probably wouldn't have got it if I didn't have the wraps. I probably wouldn't have backed myself the last rep. But because I had the wraps, I thought, no, I've got to go for it. So the weak point with me is basically my whole posterior training is a little bit weak. That's why I like to do deadlifts as part of my program. But the glutes, just getting those hips through towards those last few reps is kind of where I sort of fail a little bit, and keeping my lats engaged too, so my shoulders will come forward. That's how I know that the set's pretty much come to an end, is when the shoulders roll forward. I can't sort of thrust the glutes through, and I just sort of hinge from the back. But then it was onto my back down work. So I wanted 2 sets of 8 with 180. I actually thought that I got 9 reps, but then watched the video and was pretty devastated that I only got the 8. So 9 reps would have been a new record, but I only got the 8. And second set I only got 7, so I was pretty cooked. I was pretty cooked from the 200 kilos. So that's why I probably only got the 7 reps. But still a good effort. This is a great way to really smash hamstrings, glutes, lower backs, traps, lats, everything, and burn a whole heap of calories as well. So if you're not deadlifting during your prep, you're missing out on a whole lot. Then after that, it's on to RDLs. So focusing on more of a hip hinge. I've raised the weight just to sort of keep within my range of motion, and this really smashes my glutes. So this, even more than the deadlift, smashes my posterior chain. I really feel a big glute pump after doing this. I aim for about 8 to 12 reps. I normally get about 12 with 3 plates, but on this day I just do the 2 sets. I got 12 the first set, and only 10 the second, so I was pretty cooked. I put it down to just lifting the 200 kilos, which really took it out of me. So and calories were pretty low this week, so that's why I've allowed the 2 days carb up as well, just to make sure that the training stays with good intensity. So what I'm focusing mostly on here is the glutes. So from the floor I'm trying to activate my glutes and keep them switched on the whole time, and squeeze at the top. I'm also trying to keep my lats down and make sure that I don't feel this in the lower back, which I do slightly get a pump in the lower back, but that's kind of when I know the form's a little bit dusty. But then after that was onto this glute and ham raise that they've got at World Gym. This is the hamstring glute and ham raise. I'm not strong enough to do an actual glute and ham by this stage, but this is probably the best one that I've used. It's just built so well, and this is a great exercise. The back down after your deadlifts and RDLs, I like to keep my hands on my glutes just to make sure that I'm really squeezing through there. I'm also trying to keep my rib cage down and try not to extend through the lower back, and trying to keep my chin tucked and just focus on hamstrings and glutes with this exercise. So the top of the hamstrings and the glute tie-in is where I'm focusing. Then next up is another great piece that they've got at World Gym Northern Beaches. It's a Wattson Hyper extension. So as you can see, my feet are really wide. So before on the other hyper extension, my feet were closer together, so getting more hamstrings. But this is more of a glute focus. So feet as wide as I can, and I'm really trying to squeeze my glutes here. I'm thinking about when I'm on stage and you know, when I'm being judged on my condition, I'm really trying to squeeze the hell out of the glutes and to make sure that every sort of detail comes through as much as possible. But again, a beautiful machine. You don't get many of these in many gyms. The platform is really wide. You might not be able to tell in this video, but the platform at the bottom is really wide, so you've got a number of different ways that you can sort of place your feet and get the most out of the exercise. Then next up is the reverse hyper, and this is an exercise that I really suck at, so I always try and include it. I wish I had a bit more time for it, but the problem that I have here is my left glute's a little bit lazy, so I'm really trying to focus on that left glute contracting at the top, because I can be a little bit twisted in this movement, but this really smashes me. It doesn't look like much, but when you get on there and give it a go, it thrashes you. And then after that, it was just onto a leg press. I hadn't used this Atlantis Leg Press before, and was pretty keen to see what it was all about, so I just wanted to get like high reps and just get a bit of a pump in the quads. And it's kind of like the swing squat that Cybex have. It's a really nice one. It's more sort of hips rather than quads. Depends where you put your feet, but beautiful smooth machine. And I was pretty keen to give it a go. And just basically just trying to get as many reps as I can, making sure that I earn those post-workout carbohydrates that I was really looking forward to by now. But that was my workout, glutes and hams at World Gym Northern Beaches. Hopefully soon I'll be able to upload another episode of Sydney's Best Gyms at this gym if I ever get round to it. But hopefully you guys keep following me along in my prep. 7 weeks out now. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do in the later stages of the prep. But until then, I'll catch you guys again soon.